I love this cultivar. I think it's really special. It's very short and squat like me, so I feel at home. The ginkgo is one of our nation's favourites that decorates our parks and gardens all over the world. But did you know that it's been around since the time of the dinosaurs? Let's dig deeper. Today at Kew Gardens, it's freezing. We are facing one of the first days of winter, possibly. As you can see, all the leaves are falling off the trees and we are frozen. My name is Cecily Withall and I'm one of the climbing arborists here at Kew Gardens. So on an average day, we spend most of our time as the tree gang climbing about in the trees at Kew. But we are actually looking for maybe small issues or details that need help. So the trees here at Kew are managed to make sure that they're safe for the public, but also so that they stay within our collection for as long as possible. So we are here to talk about ginkgos today, and surrounding us are a few within our collection. So you might be able to recognise a ginkgo by the distinctive leaf shape. As named Ginkgo biloba, the biloba in Latin is the botanical Latin for this bilobed leaf shape. So typically the shape of the ginkgo is normally described as pyramidal, so as you can imagine, in the shape of a pyramid. Typically at Kew, our ginkgos stand anywhere from 10 metres to about 25, but the biggest ginkgo in the world sits at 45 metres tall. As you can imagine, the ginkgo is one of my fan favourites because of the changes throughout the year. The leaves in the spring are this beautiful, vibrant green colour that change throughout the season and then almost overnight turn into this beautiful, vibrant golden colour. And we know that autumn is here. So as you can see, these leaves are turning in this beautiful golden, orangey yellow colour, and that happens quite quickly with ginkgos, almost overnight they could say. And the next step for a tree in autumn is that they lose their leaves through something called senescence, where it's basically where the leaf creates a scar between the leaf stalk and the branch, and that then falls away. So the tree's taken the nutrients it needs, and then the leaves are left to fall to the ground to then add actually their nutrients back in a cycle into the soil for the tree to use again. So the little scars form on the end of the petiole, like that, and when they're ready, they'll fall off. In ginkgos, they fall very, very quickly, and it can almost look like they're snowing from the tree. And as you can see, this beautiful matting comes from all of these leaves falling at once rather than very gradually, where the tree, as you can see them falling now, but they fall quite gradually in other trees, so they get lost to the wind and don't often stay around the tree as much as they do with the ginkgos. But I love it. It makes this sort of golden rain or snow. So ginkgos also have this incredible trait where they produce two different types of leaf on the same tree with two different functions. So the first type is for photosynthesis and water movement, so they're much stronger and thicker. Whereas the second type of leaf is for when the tree is suffering from drought and needs that extra backup. So behind me stands one of our oldest trees. This ginkgo is part of our Lions collection, planted in 1762, initially by Princess Augusta, who started the botanical heritage here at Kew Gardens. The tree is over 250 years old and a real big part of the gardens here at Kew. So the tree is really gnarled and you can see the age in the trunk. These three stems are really ancient and part of the character here at Kew Gardens. This is a male tree, so ginkgos are dioecious, meaning that there's separate male and female trees. And there's an old wives' tale that says once upon a time a female was actually grafted to these stems. Unfortunately, that failed and no longer is here with us, but this male is still standing strong. So this tree behind me is one of our cultivars of a ginkgo here at Kew, called Ginkgo biloba pendula. Now that has been chosen for its slight pendulous adaptation in the branches. As you can see, it's a bit short and squat. But the tree here is slightly different to the normal ginkgo, and that adaptation is what creates the cultivar. So they're chosen for those small adaptations and then grown on from there. The normal ginkgo normally stands at 45 metres tall in some cases, and they can live up to and over 1,000 years. So ginkgos are the only living genus within the family, and that means that they're the sole survivor from that initial ancient species that lived 200 million years ago, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth. They're actually called living fossils because we once thought that there was no more wild species left in the world, and that the ones that we had planted and cultivated were the only living remnants of that family. But it's since been found that wild populations of ginkgos are now still in existence. As you can see next to me is one of our most special ginkgos here at Kew, planted by our late Queen. And all of the leaves this year have already fallen off. You can see them on a blanket on the floor. But what we've come here to look at is a few very special parts of this ginkgo in particular. So this ginkgo is a female. We know this is a female from the fruits that it produces on the trees. And these are the fruits that it generally produces. These I found on the ground. Unfortunately, they've all fallen off at this time of year. So these fruits are very, very smelly, and they produce something called butyric acid. It's absolutely disgusting. I'm gonna even do one step further and get that juicy bit out. Oh, it's rancid. It's really like rancid sick, if I could describe it in any way. Rancidy cheese. So as we know, the fleshy seed coat is really smelly, and we wonder if that actually might be a little adaptation of the ginkgo to attract animals to the tree that then swallow and eat this little seed, and then when they poop it out, it germinates. But this smelly, horrible, cheesy, stinky smell might have actually attracted the dinosaurs back 200 million years ago, because it does have a sort of reminiscence of rotting flesh. So ginkgo trees are dioecious, meaning that the male and the female trees are completely separate. So the males produce pollen, which is their sperm, that is wind pollinated, which means it floats through the air till it finds that fleshy seed coat of the females, and then it is able to enter that fleshy seed coat, and it manages to fertilize the seed by swimming through the seed until it finds its home. Thank you so much for listening, and next time you're out walking in your local park, keep an eye out for a ginkgo, and remember, you're basically walking with a dinosaur.
Thanks for watching this episode of Dig Deeper. If you like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss an episode. If you'd like to learn more about the work that Kew does, visit our website for more information.